lautun, or the family. And we're going to do that using the Etruscan words, the Etruscan nouns for different members of the family. Now, a couple of things about Etruscan language and Etruscan nouns in general. Etruscan is an agglutinating language. All right, so that means that each suffix that gets added on gives us another piece of information. So if any of you are Latin students out there, you've seen the word kilos, and you know that the stem is on kill, and the ending is as, and that stands for accusative plural. Well, the Etruscans have a separate ending for the plural and a separate ending for their genitive that get combined together. We are sticking with the basic nominative accusative forms here, and for the most part, they're singular ones. We will give a couple plural examples in the inscriptions I show later. And the typical organization goes stem plus the number ending plus the case suffix. Now the nouns are divided up into three groups. They're kind of like the Latin declensions. There's the first one that have vocalic stems, such as tina, which is a water container, it ends in the alpha. Consonant stems like clinth, which is possibly the word for citadel. And then vocalic or consonant stems, there's a group that have both vocalic ones and consonant ones, depending on the ending, like methlume, which means city. All right, and it's kind of hard to predict these what endings end up on them. All right, Etruscan also has 5 different cases: the genitive, the pertinative, which is kind of like a dative, the ablative, the locative, and then the nominative accusative case. All right. There's no gender unless you have a name. And if you have a name, it seems that the Etruscans have taken from their Italic neighbors and put on either an I or an IA to make it feminine. So lartia makes it feminine. All right. So we're going to start with the family tree. All right. So up here are our grandparents. We have papa, which is P alpha, and teta. Then on our, which means grandfather and grandmother. All right. Our next level down, we have appa and ati, so father and mother. And together, these make the parents, the ateri. And a mother is also a wife, and we have the word puya. Now we don't actually know what we don't have a word for husband because husbands are never. Men are never remembered for being husbands. All right, this is one of the problems with Etruscan, is that the language is the language we're left with is strictly related to funerary or dedications or government contracts. Very little literature, as the Romans or the Greeks would have, and so we see a lot of funeral inscriptions. We know a lot of these words being from them, but we don't know all of them. So while we have the word wife, because a woman would be known for being the wife of someone. We don't know husband because men aren't known for being the husbands of women. Women aren't important enough in the Etruscan world for that to be an important thing to remember. In the children, we have clan and set. This means son and daughter. And they are the children, the husor. And husor is a plural. This UR ending is a plural ending added on. So hush would be your singular form for a child. And then, again, we don't know what sister is, but we do have Rua, which is brother. And then in the grandchildren, we have grandchild or nephew or descendant, neftas. All right, and this is a very late word because the introduction of that F sound there, the vertical infinity. All right, so those are all of our family members, the lautun, the family. So let's look at some inscriptions then. So here, I'm using Etruscan, the Etruscan font provided by the Etruscan Text Project at UMass Amherst. I've typed them out in a close approximation of what the inscription would look like. And then here it is in transcribed. So and this one's on a column, so the words are kind of broken off. So laris, aule, larisal, plenar. So there's our plural for clan is clenar. You see that AR ending, just like husor is the UR ending. Clenar swal kin shuti kurik sunke apak and atik. So the C here is kind of like how the et works, or the que, actually closer to que in Latin. Que, que, so both and, but we have apa and ati, mom and dad. Siniswa thui kesu clautiet arasi. Right, so this is on a tufa column found in a tomb in Cairo, but from the 4th century, so the early Hellenistic period. And it says, Laris and Aule, sons of Laris, while living constructed this tomb. So there's the sons of Laris, while living constructed this tomb. Both mother and father. The Sani, which we're not really sure what that word means, were buried here for the Claudi family. All right. So this is one example of an inscription. If we scroll down, we'll get another couple examples. So this is from a stone sarcophagus in near Tuscania. And so Cleusinas Laris Larisal Clan. And this is a pretty common phrase. Laris Clenusias, of the Clenusia family is what that name, what it means. Son of Laris, all right? Family names get handed down a lot. So there's a lot of juniors and thirds and fourths in Etruscan words. Then we have Semi Ramtha, Spiritus Lartal, Puya Amake, Lupu Alis. It might be XXII or it might be LXII, unsure. Hushur ki aknanas. All right, so we have Puya, wife, as well as Hushur, 3 children. So Ramta Sami was the wife of Lar Spiritus, having died at year 22 or 62. It's unsure in the inscription. You can see, actually, because of these brackets here, the names had to be reconstructed based on, because the inscription's damaged at those points. And if you go and look at a transcription of this, there's also a lot of dots that say the letters are partially preserved. And then having given birth, Kanas, to 3 key children, Hushor. All right, so there we've seen father and mother in the first inscription being used. We've seen son here. We have wife and children here. And one more inscription. Rantu welksali welthu sorhasa sex larthialisala. So Rantu welkai, the daughter, sex. This C can morph here to other k sounds. Of Welfor, who is the son of Larth. That is what this entire ending on Larth kind of gets to. So we've kind of been introduced to a couple of different things here. We've gotten some family words. We know some simple ideas of the plural. Throughout, hopefully, the next series of videos, we'll have some more information on, I'll give you guys some more information on the cases and how they're formed and some examples of inscriptions of that. In case anyone is curious, I got these inscriptions from Zeke Racina, Dr. Rex Wallace's book about a manual of the Etruscan language and inscriptions, and I'm pulling my information from both this book as well as Larissa Bonfante's book, the Bonfante book, on the Etruscan language and introduction. So there's a lot of information out there. Etruscan isn't a mystery language. It's just a language that we don't have a lot of records for, unfortunately. So if you're looking for a lot more good information and a great bibliography, Dr. Wallace's book is a wonderful resource to have. So until next time, feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.